I wouldn't like to be that punch bag. When you hit that, do you ever see faces? Do you ever see Castro, for example?
Yes. I actually took the
Really?
newspaper and I put the face and I put it right there. And then you can tell the dents right there. I'm really sure how I feel about it. Something in the way you move.
Michelle Knight was kidnapped by Ariel Castro in August 2002. He held her hostage in his house for 11 years. He raped her on a daily basis. He made her pregnant 5 times and beat her into miscarrying 5 times.
There might be others in the house.
Michelle was rescued with Amanda Berry and Gina de Jesus in 2013.
We found them.
Ariel Castro admitted to kidnapping the 3 girls and was sentenced to life and 1,000 years. Michelle didn't return to her family, who she claims never even bothered looking for her. How old was Joey when he was taken away?
2.5 years old.
And in a way, his being taken allowed Ariel Castro to take you.
Yes. I was like trying to make it there, but I couldn't find a place. So I decided to turn around and go back to the Family Dollar. And then I tried to make a phone call, but I realized I only had 20 bucks and the Family Dollar back then couldn't break a 20 or a 50. He walks in, he overhears. He was like, I heard that you're trying to find this place. I know where that place is at. I was looking up at him. I was like, I think I know you. Your daughter. Daughter's name is Emily, right? And he was like, it's a small world after all. And then he said, okay, I'll give you a ride. First, I was like, okay. Little weird, he don't have a door handle. Then I just stopped thinking because I was like, I'm putting myself in distress right now, and that's not good. As we're going down the street, I was looking around. I was like, you're going absolutely the wrong way. And he was like, oh, that's because I'm going home. I remember telling him that my son loves puppies. And I noticed that it says in front, he's got puppies for sale. So I'm assuming, yeah, he's got actual puppies. So he was like, the puppies are upstairs. But then when I got up the stairs, that's when it struck me really hard. I'm never going to leave this place. There was too much silence. And then when I finally got into the room and he shut the door on me, I knew it was over. He just kept on telling me how I'm just going to keep you here for a little while. Everything will be okay. I'm not going to harm you as long as you listen to what I say.
And how long was it after he took you that he started abusing you?
First it was just like jacking off. That was it. Then maybe a couple weeks later it started turning into other stuff.
How long was it before he raped you?
Probably maybe 2 to 3 weeks. By that time I was in the basement. He tied me up to a middle of a pole in a room. My hands were behind my back. My neck was tied to the pole too, along with my stomach. There's not a day that went by that I didn't get messed with or hurt in any type of way.
How did you pass the time? What was going through your mind?
Most of the time, if I was like hooked on a chain and it was in the basement, I would just pass in and out. That's how the time passed.
You were passing out through the pain and the pressure?
Yes.
Did you want to die?
At the point in time I was like, God, if there's nothing more for me in life, just let me go.
After about a year, he kidnapped another girl, Amanda. When did you first realise that she was in the house?
Tonight, new at 6 o'clock.
He gives me a TV. This is when I didn't have a TV at first. He was like, if you watch the news, you might find that there's a tragedy in Cleveland. And then it dawned on me, yeah, he's the one that did it.
She was headed to her home less than a half-mile away. She was on the phone with her sister Beth at the time when she said her ride was here. It's a conversation Beth plays over each day in her head.
My one question is, why didn't I ask who was giving you the ride?
He brought her to my room and he sat there and said, oh, this is my brother's girlfriend. I was like, yeah, right.
Did she say anything?
Unfortunately, I think she was too afraid to say anything. It's quite amazing to know that somebody's in there that, you know, you actually knew. But it's also at the same time also a tragedy because you know exactly what she's going to go through and she ain't going to like it.
Almost exactly a year after Amanda disappeared, Gina DeJesus vanished 5 short blocks away.
He comes upstairs for maybe a second or two and says, I got somebody in the house and I want you guys to be quiet because I don't want to scare her off. At first it was like, okay, there was just talking, and that's when you hear a girl screaming. Things are crashing. She was basically trying to get away from him, but unfortunately it didn't work out for her.
How long were the three of you together for?
One time I'm gonna assume it was for two months.
And were you all tied up in that time?
Yes, actually we were chained by a chain, yeah. And sometimes it was kind of difficult because having one toilet and we all had to go to the bathroom at the same time. We was all trying to rush to go to the bathroom just to let the other one go to the bathroom too.
The psychiatrist at the court case said that you were treated worst and for longest. Why do you think he treated you worst?
It goes with the same thing that he couldn't break me. He hated the fact that I didn't subject myself to what he wanted and when he wanted it.
2 attractive teenage girls. They disappear in similar circumstances. Police and the families of these 2 girls need your help.
When the other girls came into the house, you were aware through watching TV that they had people looking for them.
Yes.
How painful was it for you that there was no one looking for you?
Very painful. It hurted like hell because I knew that nobody would look for me. Because they really didn't know who I was.
Cleveland police say they took Michelle Knight's name off the FBI's National Crime Information Center database in November 2003 when they could not find a parent or guardian to confirm she was still missing.
The days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into years, a decade. How did you keep going?
My son. I couldn't let my son know me as I gave up on him.
How long have you been living here?
For a couple months now. I'm able to be me. It's just an amazing feeling to have a house and a roof over your head.
And today's your birthday, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
33?
33.
Do you feel older than you
Do I feel old? No.
Younger?
Yes.
Do you?
This is like my first birthday ever.
Wow.
This one is for my son. He's my little Huggy Bear. And then there's this one. Know me as a victor, not a victim. And this one represents the baby that passed away in the house. I call her my little angel.
Did you give her a name?
Cecilia. Today is her anniversary of her death.
And is that why you had the birthday party a couple of days earlier?
Yes.
Are we tattooed out now? Is that all of them?
All of them that we can actually see. Me living in that house, I felt like everything was frozen. Nothing was moving at all. The only thing was moving was the outside world. And we were just on standstill.
You were made pregnant 5 times?
Yeah.
And what happened every time you were pregnant?
He would beat and starve me until I aborted.
And what did he do when you did abort?
He blamed me for the abortion. He said I'm the one that caused him to do it.
How do you keep any optimism going when that happened?
When that happened, I just told myself that some bad things happen in life that we just can't help. And the key is to find something happy to think about when those things are going on. The first thought that came to my head was my baby.
Joey?
Yeah. And that made me happy.
What are your hopes for Joey?
I wish the best for him, and I hope that I'm glad that he has all that he has right now.
And have you been in touch through letters or anything?
Through letters, cards. He needs to heal from what he heard, and I need to heal from what had happened to me, so we both need our time.
Were there any times when you felt happy in the house? I mean, 11 years is a long time.
There's very little times that I actually cracked a smile in that house. When I first met Gina, I smiled. When I first met Amanda, I smiled. That made me happy to know that I wasn't the only one, but it also made me sad to know that they were here too. He felt bad for it. He didn't really want to do it, but there's the monstrous side that told him to do it. That's what he always say.
Ariel Castro has hanged himself in his cell at 9:20 tonight. That's when that happened. He was found hanging in his cell at the Correctional Reception Center in Orient.
I mean, one of the most astonishing things is that you said that you can forgive him.
Yes.
Is that a religious thing, or is that something just within you?
That's just something within me.
Do you hate him?
No.
Do you wish he was still alive?
Well, I kind of wish he never killed himself, but, you know, to each his own mind. He didn't want to be alive. He couldn't take what he did. And I understand that. The tonality of my life to this point, it's not the same as it will be.
Michelle's written a song with a friend about her ordeal. She's now recording it in a studio. Do you ever think about if the kidnap hadn't happened, what you think would have happened to your life, how it would have worked out?
I would be probably either living on the street or dead right now. And I got to survive it, and I got to be able to stand up and say that I overcome this. And it didn't define who I was.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
We found them.
As we were going up the steps, it was so quiet, like peaceful. And then you hear this scuffling, you know, something going on in this room. And it was Michelle. She kind of popped out into the doorway.
She jumped up into my arms and held on to me and screamed, "Please don't let me go, please don't let me go."
I literally jumped in her arms and grabbed a hold of her and wouldn't let her go.
I said, "Honey, don't worry, I'm not letting you go."
I didn't really think it was real. I didn't think we were really going home. And I turned around and told Gina with my head spinning like heck, we're going home.
Do you always have the blinds open?
Yes, I do. It's to see the beautiful sky that I've never seen for years.
How are your eyes now?
I still have bits and problems with them, but as long as it's like this, it's fine. But if the sun was like beaming bright, I would have to stay back there.
And that's just because of all the time you were in darkness?
Yes.
And will the eyes improve? Or can they not improve now?
Right now they're like not improving, but hopefully they will. I still got hope.